to the June 23rd primary election. As a new member of the party, the governor needed to be given clearance before participating in the primaries. The governor, who resigned from the All Progressive Congress on Tuesday, defected to the People's Democratic Party earlier yesterday. Following the defection, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the former Senate President Bukola Saraki have commended Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki for joining the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Godwin Obaseki yesterday joined the People's Democratic Party at an elaborate ceremony in the state capital, Benin City. He was, you recall that he was disqualified from the All Progressive Congress for seeking re-election and allegedly for submitting questionable certificates. Okay, let's look at the third one now, which has to do with a state high court sitting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, has declared the former Deputy National Secretary of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Victor Giadom, cannot be the acting national chairman of the party. It was gathered that the court, presided over by Justice Florence Febrisima, granted an order of perpetual injunction restraining Giadom from parading himself as a member of the National Working Committee of the APC in a suit filed by Dele Moses and others. Wichie Livingstone, the media advisor to the APC acting chairman in Rivers State, Igor Aguma, confirmed that the court ordered the APC not to recognize Giadom, named as the third defendant in the case, as a member of the National Working Committee. The courts also granted an order restraining Giadom from issuing, signing, or endorsing any document or correspondence to the Independent National Electoral Commission or any other body or institution in the capacity of the national chairman of the acting national chairman of the APC or howsoever as an officer of the APC. The court said Giadom could not be claiming to be a member of the National Working Committee, having resigned from this position to contest the 2019 general election as the deputy governor. Well, those are the details of what we'll be looking at today on the program. So we start from the very first one, which is the Attorney General that is recommending that Magu should be sacked for sundry offenses. And these offenses are ranging from diversion of recovered loot to insubordination and misconduct by Magu. Eddy, let's start from you today.
Thank you very much, please.
Yeah.
I think it is important to note that the same Magu who was supposed to have been confirmed by the 8th Senate, and it was not done because of a damning report from the Eastwhile, the director of SSS, who wrote a very, very damning report, and that was what led to the fact that the guy has served as acting chairman of the APC for 5 years. Now, so it's a very, very laughable situation as far as I'm concerned, because Magu is imposing as an angel, and then within, I mean, within the system, that the APC ruling party.
And actually the supervising ministry. Because this is under justice.
You know, have come out with this very, very indicting report that is actually relooting the loot of the Abacha. And that is very, very funny to me. And the only person I want to sympathize with is the president. The president is there as a man of integrity, while those who are serving under him are doing damage to his administration. I don't know how it will go, but if you read the report of Malami that was sent to president, you know that there was a lot of discrepancies. You know? And then the Magu supporters are even, suggesting that that he was even what he submitted.
Yes, it was even
more than. So it means that there is no records whatsoever.
Yeah.
A good record is a good record, and it should be clean. But when you dip your fingers into public till, one day the truth will come out. I think the truth about Magu is coming out, that it was actually posing an angel when he was a devil, actually presiding over billions and billions of naira. It's very, very unfortunate, and I sympathize with Mr. President.
Okay.
That those people who he has a lot of trust on or in are actually doing things that does not represent integrity.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very, very difficult for the president to act, but I don't know what the president is going to do about this, because it's as if the president has a lot of trust upon Magu.
Yeah.
And with this damning report from the Attorney General, which is the supervising ministry,
yeah,
to the extent that the Magu himself, because he's sitting on tons of money, he doesn't even have any regard for the ministry, but for the Attorney General, leading to all this. And I think that letter was well detailed. The days of Magu are actually numbered, and I think that it is a very, very big problem for the APC, because if you pose as fighting as a government that is fighting corruption, and the man who presides over
the arrowhead of
the fight
is blunt,
and is being indicted and is busy diverting. They use the word diverting.
But these are allegations, though.
Yes, is allegedly busy diverting the funds that are supposedly recovered from looters, which we call relooting. It's a shame, as far as I'm concerned. And apart from that, the APC is faced with other very, very serious crises. For the letter of Malami coming at this time, it shows that the APC needs to, put their house in order, because the house is divided, and a house that is divided against itself is no house.
Yeah. Let me come to Abdul Bako. And this letter coming from the Attorney General of the Federation. And I see them as members of the same house, the same family, and together. The letter coming at this time. What actually does the Attorney General of the Federation hope to get, or what's the purpose of this letter coming at this time?
For me, once again, good evening, listeners. For me, I look at it to be a fight over supremacy, and not just a fight over supremacy as the case may be. It has gone beyond that fight against supremacy. Because if you look inward holistically, since the establishment of the anti-graft agency, which has an act that clearly stated that 6 months to the financial year, their audited report should be placed before the Senate. Today, right from onset, nothing of such has been happening. And if you read carefully the letter presented by Malami, he is equally trying to say that act of insubordination exists between him and Magu. The same Malami who is now pointing fingers towards the rerouted funds by the EFCC was the one that was trying to coin the word
asset in place of loot.
So for me, I see it is rather a fight against of supremacy within the elites. If not, over time, the House of Reps, I will be very emphatic, I think in 2011, came out categorically to say that the EFCC and other agencies like and parastatals like the NMPC, like the Bank of Industry, like the Bank of Agri, who are solely under the responsibility of the presidency, has not submitted their audit report.
Yeah.
So I feel it is just a fight over supremacy. Maybe the looted fund has never been shared as expected. Otherwise, the Senate has queried that too over time, that audited report has not been coming to them, but they never act. So maybe going on oversight function, there are things that are going under the bridges, under the bridges, the waters that are flowing under the bridges, we the citizens don't know. But this is an ample opportunity for us to unveil a lot of things. If not now, when are we going to get it right? But for me, I look at it to be a fight over supremacy, because he categorically said he is the head, that Magu has not been reporting to him.
Yeah.
And maybe Magu feels, okay, I have a position that is very, very strong, and if it even warrant, I will even be probing who is
the Malami
the
himself.
Malami himself.
Yes,
So
yes.
I look at that to be a fight over of supremacy.
It's a case of someone having a dog that is preventing you from entering your house.
Exactly.
All right. Folorunso, it's about time we also take your contribution to this particular issue. Let's relink back to Folorunso so that he will give us his perspective on this particular item. All right, Folorunso, what's your take on this?
Hello, my brother, God bless you.
Yes.
I must first of all commend your station for this exclusive, especially at this point when people are turning to radio stations to hear entertainment of Samanja, Sabataga, and Alias Scott.
It's part of it, too.
Number one, as to this show must be. A lot of people don't even know that about Buhari was one. He had a stick. He was also a governor about 40 years ago. He had all the theoretical side to know what is happening. And that is why some of us are still forgiving me. I'm not complaining.
You are.
You have absolute belief in Buhari and Malami nothing else. You always tell people that you cannot be more Catholic than you do. He knows what he's doing. Either Magu or Malami, those are not issues. No issues at all. At the appropriate time, you know when to jack back and it should be pressed. That is number one. And so, can you permit me? Let me go to the issue of APC or...
No, we'll take them one at a time. We'll get your comment on the other one. Oh, okay. Let's still come back talking about, because part of this letter is that very soon there is an intent to send Magu's name back to the Senate for confirmation. And this letter is coming on the heels of that intent. Why or who does not want Magu to be confirmed? Because for 5 years, dilly-dallying, right from the last Senate to this new Senate, nobody's confirming him. What would the confirmation mean for him, and how will it affect the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddy.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I have Olu back. Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. If you look at it, we are good students of history and journalists. The 8th Senate were clearly out. They presented themselves as anti-Buhari, and I've been telling people, you cannot be more Catholic than the Pope.
Olu, is it fight against Buhari or fight against corruption?
No. In the fight against corruption, there's a leader. Just as they is the producer of that has brought people like us on the planet.
So it is a fight against Buhari that is that the reason why they refuse? Is that the reason why they refuse to confirm him?
No, sir. There are some platforms on radio you can never hear my name. I am interested and attracted in this program because of your intellect, your integrity. The last Senate, you were clearly how to rubbish the president, and that was why everything they were doing then was being sponsored by those who are doing themselves.
Okay, so Olu, since you are digressing now, would you say that this Senate is they are
Also-
lovers of Buhari.
Pro Buhari.
Yes.
So is that democracy?
Okay, what is democracy, sir? In every relationship, sir, in case you don't know, that is why I begin to sympathize with later-day democratic lovers who are not. I'm happy Bako is there. When we struggle for this democracy, a lot of people don't know the meaning. In everything, there's followership and leadership. And if you respect your leaders, the followers will respect you.
But is a leader always right?
No, it can never be right. No.
Okay. Once you have a Senate is meant to
Never
the,
claim the monopoly
of knowledge and wisdom.
There must be a synergy, my brother.
Okay. Let's come back to the confirmation of Magu. If Magu's name is sent to the Senate and you happen to be a member of the Senate, would you vote for or against confirmation?
Certainly, I will vote against him because it's a presidential appointed, what do we call it? A presidential liaison officer in the name of Minister of Justice has issued his spirit. So a lot of people don't even know that Buhari is an executive president.
Yeah.
That controls 36 states of Nigeria plus Abuja. If one of his lieutenants are querying another of his lieutenants, there's a question mark.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Eddy, quickly, if you are a member of the Senate, Eddy, will you vote for or against the confirmation of Magu?
I mean, right from the 8th Senate, when issues were raised, the damning letter that came from the SS, to the Senate that led to the refusal of the Senate to confirm him is still there. And with this one, that is brothers against, what's the difference between him and Malami? They are serving the same government. And for Malami to have written such a damning letter, it means that the first letter that was written by the SSS was correct. So it means that this guy has been serving under impunity. And for him to dip his hands, allegedly dip his hand, according to the letter, I mean, it shows that the guy is not even, in support of the fight against corruption, which is the main issue that brought this into power. So what are we talking about?
Okay, but
I will never vote again for him.
Okay, Abdul, I'll come to you now.
Yes.
But why do you think the president is keeping Malami against every other suggestions from the legislature? Magu. Why is the president keeping Magu against suggestions?
Against all odds.
Against all odds.
You see, in the letter written by Malami, they say that there are supposed supporters of Magu in the presidency that are backing him for a renomination bid to be the substantive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission. So that is to tell you that people within the system, people who are the real chronics of Buhari, people who are the real cabals, the kitchen cabinets of Buhari, are people who are at the forefront to say Buhari should maintain Magu. But if you follow into the antecedents and trying to x-ray the capacity of the man himself, Magu, his capacity is low. He's below that position he's handling, because if you come close to the real acting chairman of the AFCC, you will know that he likes a lot of capacity, and he is equally not fit to have been in that position. If DSS will categorically come out with a document saying those are some of the allegations that are against him and nobody question it, that is to say that there is somebody within the kitchen cabinet that is highly influential that is keeping Magu still in the system, that is making Buhari to always nominate him for continuation, for being continued in that capacity of being the chairman. But it is very clear, and I am assuring you that there was a time I personally asked this question now: when last has the EFCC account been audited?
Yeah.
But what I heard from the chairman himself, that was during the
walk.
the inauguration that they came here, the walk that we had in Kaduna, when he was to commission, the commissioning of some of his
Activities.
commissioning of some of his staff that
passed out. Yes, after that training
after
at the
their
NDA.
training at the NDA. So you agree with me that capacity-wise, Magu is just that bulldog that is faceless and people are that is
Toothless.
fearful. It's toothless, that is fearful, and people are just being afraid of him. But capacity-wise, Magu has like that capacity to be not in the shoes of Ibrahim Lamurde, not in the shoes of Nuru Badu, not in the shoes of Farida Waziri, as the case may be.
Okay. All right, you're listening to Ground Zero right on Invicta 98.9 FM. And we have been talking about the letter from the Attorney General of the Federation to the presidency stating that Magu should be sacked and replaced because of sundry infringements and all of that. And I am sure that we've been able to do some justice to it. Let's take some messages and we'll quickly come back to the program and wrap up on the other issues that we are discussing today on the program. All right, welcome back from that commercial timeout. The program is Ground Zero right here on Invicta 98.9 FM. And of course, like I said earlier, you can start to drop your comments and opinions in respect of what we are discussing if you go to the Facebook page of Invicta FM. That's Invicta FM Kaduna. There you see the post, add your comments, drop a question or whatever you want to say there. Of course, you can also go to the Ground Zero Radio Show Facebook page, Ground Zero Radio Show Facebook page. Go like the page, also add your voice to our conversation right there. Okay, from the first item that we looked at today, let's move on to the second item that we'll be discussing on the program today, which has to do with the defection of Godwin Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, and his deputy to PDP, and the waiver that was granted them to contest the governorship primaries. And of course, the handsome welcome that they got from the presidential candidate of the party in 2015 and other issues. And I'll start from Eddy Ochigbo. Godwin Obaseki has eventually moved to the PDP, all in preparations for the governorship election that's coming up in September this year. Let's do some calculated permutations here. What are the chances of Godwin Obaseki and Philip Schreiber that just moved from the APC to the PDP winning this election? Because all said and done, the purpose for all of this is winning the election. What are his chances? Let's do some permutations.
Thank you very much. And you know, we were on show here a few days back. I talked about the power of incumbency, and everybody saw it coming, that given the ego and self-egotism of the chairman, that is Adam Oshomole, you know, because now what has happened, because of Adam Oshomole alone, not the party, they have put aside Obaseki. And we knew that all along he was angling to join the PDP, which is quite unfortunate for the APC. And you remember I mentioned on show here that what is going to happen in Edo, if it's not carefully handled, the whole place will be on fire. If they try that kind of thing that happened in Ekiti, Oshun, and the rest of them, thinking that you can circumvent the will of the people by rigging it, is going to be a big problem, because Edo is not Oshun or Ekiti. So we have to trade carefully. They have to trade carefully. And it's unfortunate that these things are happening under the administration of somebody who has integrity. I don't know why the president did not use his fatherly, wisdom, to settle the issue between Obaseki and Oshomole to ensure that Obaseki remains, but rather because of ego.
We are looking at the chances of Obaseki winning now. Do you think Obaseki can pick the ticket?
That's why I talked about the power of incumbency.
Okay.
And he's going to move the entire local
He has moved all the local government chairman.
So how would you defeat such a person? The power is more than 100%, except, of course, you circumvent or block what is happening, and it is going to set Edo on fire. I said this several times. Yeah. So the power of a PDP to pick, to win Edo, yeah, is very, 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 very feasible, and it's very likely to happen, except something else happened.
Okay, Folorunso, you've had Eddy Ochigbo.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Olu.
May God bless you, sir.
Okay.
You, sir. You see, at times when I look at this issue, and I begin to wonder why God is merciful. Is betrayal an attitude that is commendable?
Betrayal in what sense?
Why must people be justifying betrayal and traitors?
No, I do not understand betrayal. Explain the betrayal here. Who betrayed who?
You, sir. If there are no God's sons, there are no God's fathers.
Is that democracy?
Yes, sir. Like, know me and you and the people in the studio. I don't have a godfather because I refuse to be a godson. So if you have your personal problem with a godfather, it is yours. But the truth of the matter now is, are you telling me that as Obaseki has left with Philip Saibu, my friend, who was a footballer in Vendor Insurance Football Club, in the maximum bonds of Esha, should no longer get the ticket? Okay, when we look at this thing, I begin to wonder. But since God is a merciful God, I don't have problem. A lot of people today, they don't know, they condemn Buhari, they don't commend him for some good things.
Let's talk about Edo State election. Let's talk about Edo State election. I know you're a passionate supporter of Buhari.
What we are saying now is, Obaseki has gone to PDP, there's no more fire in APC. He has gone on a different platform. Let him go and meet his Atiku there. Here we are on our own. We shall meet on the football field. And the football field, we shall know who we win.
All right.
So, thank you, sir. Now go to
Thank you. Okay. We'll come back to the studio now. And Abdul Bako, you are a Democrat, a campaigner for Democrat, a campaigner for good governance and all of that. From what you see, who will lose or gain in this coming election in Edo State?
How I wish this election is coming as a general election where there will be no deployment of massive security presence in the state, so that the will of the people will stand and be actualized. But today, as you know, how elections are being carried out in our country, where such elections happen not to be general elections, they might deploy security apparatus to cause a lot of havoc. Otherwise, I would have said this is where the test of democracy will come to play. But having said just the way Eddy said here, I look at the play of the incumbency taking the day, because it happens in Kogi. We saw it glaring, where massive and thuggery was alleged to have happened, and videos went viral. We saw it. So today too, I am seeing Obaseki taking that ticket over in PDP and in position and forcefully doing the might, if the might of the Abuja didn't play.
Okay, I'll still remain with you now. Let's quickly talk about the leadership crisis in the APC, which to a large extent is a fallout of the Edo State primaries, largely because of the issue he had with Obaseki, culminated in different suspension right from the state that eventually the appeal court has upheld.
Yeah, you see, for me, taking the issue of leadership there, Giadom of a person, what's that his name?
Yeah,
Giadom.
Giadom.
Giadom of a person. I think if you watch, he contested as a deputy governor in River State.
Yes.
And he might have relinquished his membership then. So I don't know, maybe he reinstated it before.
Yeah, the court is saying that because he did not,
Yes.
he is not a member of the National Working Committee.
Yes.
So there is no way that he can be
Yes.
being
Acting,
contention.
Yeah, exactly.
contention as acting
Yeah,
chairman.
because the APC constitution is very clear. I've forgotten the session because as a Democrat, I once contested election too on the platform of the APC, so I am aware of what the constitution clearly says.
Okay.
But I've forgotten that section. But clearly, he is not supposed to be there, and the leadership tussle there is as a result of not having full internal democracy. Otherwise, I think Oshomole would have still been, but the tussle between him and Obaseki resulted to what is happening to the APC today.
All right, Eddy, quickly.
No, just in that, I'll just say that there is this
Olu Folorunso will be expecting your response
Yes.
after Eddy.
There is this hide and seek in the APC, and I sympathized with the party leader, who is the president. You know, sometimes you look at the permutations, and it is not in favor of APC. You know, the Oshomole has been suspended.
Yeah.
And then there's crisis about leadership. It doesn't tell well of the party,
Exactly.
a ruling party.
All right.
You know, so and he was suspended because of his
suspension right from the ward.
Yes,
to
from
the
what?
state.
Otherwise, everything would have been intact.
Okay.
But because of the fight he had.
Let's take Olu's comment.
Okay.
Yes, Olu.
That's what Bako have said. Are you with me, sir?
Yes, I am with you, Olu.
I'm happy for those people who have assembled, and God will bless you. The constitution of APC is very straight and direct. That where there is a leadership position, a vacancy of vacuum, we can say, the national deputy chairman of the party from the zone, regional zone of the party becomes the chairman.
Okay.
And that is what Ajumabi is. I know that Ajumabi is on the sick bed, that of the south, where Adams Shimole takes precedent. That is one of our leaders from Cross River. The truth of the matter is, like Oga Bako said, this man is an impostor from Rivers. And as far as APC is concerned, we don't know him. Where was he when we formed APC in Kaduna? Where was he when we were in Adeko? The truth of the matter is, I come with blessing for your program.
Thank you so much,
I want
Olu.
people to know that there cannot be tomorrow without today and yesterday.
All right, Olu, let's take some calls. So we'll get back
Thank
to
you
you.
very much.
All right, thank you. All right, 081 40,989 is the number to dial, and also 070-87-800-989 are the numbers to dial to add your voice to our conversation this evening. Let's find out who our first caller is. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. I'm Kure Barnet.
All right, Mr. Kure, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you. I just want to talk about this Obaseki and APC as a party.
Yeah.
Honestly, APC should put their house in order. Otherwise, this crisis will continue, and they shouldn't blame anybody. Because I saw this thing coming long time ago. I was expecting them to put their house in order. The president have shown that he didn't care about that, either Obaseki or Shumole. But my appeal is on on this highness of a thing. Honestly, they shouldn't set the door on fire. They should allow peace to reign there. They shouldn't deploy any military people to guide that election. They should allow people to speak their mind. Otherwise,
Thank you so much, Mr. Akure. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Good evening, Mr.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Also Engineer Emmanuel.
All right, Engineer Emmanuel, let's have your take.
I can't begin making my submission without saying that the Almighty God bless you.
Amen.
With this program, this topic you just brought, this particular one concerning Magu, you see, I was just happy because this has been my call. That has been my saying that this administration is not fighting corruption, rather they are pursuing opposition. If a man that is champion anti-corruption fight will not give us proper data of so far how much we recover, I've been saying it whenever I have an opportunity. He has not given us proper data, and he says fighting corruption. Now, the minister of the justice, Malami, is indicting him. Remember, before this indictment, there was an allegation that he has a property in Dubai, which he went to Dubai, and they say they find out the property that attached to him.
Yeah.
And the EFCC people were denying it.
Okay.
You know, there is nothing in this life. There is nothing hidden under the sun. Time is just about time.
You have some few seconds.
Okay. Finally, concerning the crisis in APC, I'm enjoying it. Let's keep on with the crisis. Honestly, I don't want to be political about it. I'm telling you my mind.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it. Because that is how PDP were having crisis, they were enjoying it. So me, I'm enjoying what is happening with them. And I pray, Obaseki, got the contact. Let me see what Adam Osomole will do about it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Engineer Emmanuel. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero.
Hello, good evening, sir. I'm from the Texas man.
All right, the Texas man, let's quickly have your take.
My own contribution is that if it is true that the Attorney General of the Federation has been to Buhari, and Buhari with his integrity, we are pressuring, let them look into the letter and make sure that Magu leave that very seat. Because a lot of us have been calling through this in data program that there is no account of the money recovered. So we are praying seriously. And on Obaseki, I've asked my people, that the widows and widowers of Kaduna Texas Limited, Arewa, where Adam Osomole work, they should go on their knees and make sure Adam Osomole is removed as national chairman. And today is removed. And I pray Obaseki is going to win, PDP is going to win in those states. May the Almighty God pray and bless on this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Comrade Gabriel. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Good evening, Mr. My name is
Yes, Musa Bala, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Let me quickly go to the group first. I want to comment on those people that Edo is greater than APC and PDP. It's greater than Ochigbo and Obaseki. We want to.
Yeah.
But whatever the perfection of Ochigbo, he has already entered the annex history of Nigeria. The party chairman that lead APC PDP for the second time, despite their state server. That's just for him. And for EFCC, no matter their incapacitation, they have scored record more than the entire past chairmen put together. We have seen recovery. We have seen former governors in jail. We have seen a lot of confession.
Okay.
We have seen a lot of success. So the issue of fighting corruption is a national policy. It's not just meant for Buhari. It's something that's supposed to continue happening before Buhari and even after Buhari.
But can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Magu has done so great. He has been able to recover so much money and all of that. But what are the records of these monies? That's what the Attorney General is talking about.
I'm completely coming to that. You see, for even Malami and other Nigerians to now be looking for the record shows that the fight against corruption is really working. And I saw an exclusion that the president has even approved the investigation and possible prosecution of Magu if found guilty, which shows that the fight against corruption is really working. And between Magu and Malami, I'm assuring you, somebody is at fault and somebody is guilty. But time shall now prove one of them who is more guilty or who wants to get rid of it. And for Senate confirming or not, you see, the Senate are afraid of fighting against corruption. Not even Magu, the president has sent a bill to them to please allow you to have a special court to fight corruption, they start it and they refuse. So it's not Magu parties. It's the concept that they are not interested because majority of members of 8 Senate and even the 9 Senate are afraid of the fight against corruption.
Okay.
But it's unstoppable. It will continue. And may God continue to save the entire country with generations coming.
All right.
From the danger of corrupt people and recruited agents who will always say that money recovers from them, like that of State Jonathan, that should be given back to her because nobody complains that there's someone agreed to us. My Oga, how are you?
We'll be Oga here.
Well done. Let's take another call. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero.
Good evening. My name is Mike. I'm calling from Saraki.
All right, Michael, quickly let's have your take.
Yeah, on the issue of Magu, very, very unfortunate to see the person that is at the front line of fighting corruption has actually been indicted with unable to give accountable of money recovered from the corruption in the country. Very, very, actually for me, he has not been an eloquent boss in the first place, but it has been a laudable agitations by the public that give account of this money, but very, very unfortunate, it has come on the public domain now. He has been indicted with this allegation. I pray all the allegations that are found against him beyond reasonable doubt. We shall see it as the day progresses.
All right.
And for the issue of Obaseki,
yeah,
very, very, we can see how politicians are flocking between the party, across the party line. But so far, we've seen across the board where politics has thriving, you cannot eliminate the power of incompetence. In terms of once the person has been on the system of the politicking, once the power is there, he has all the tools that are with him. Definitely to bring him out of the government is very, very good. But I pray that it should not play out the same thing as played out in Ekiti. The deployment of force, this can also affect the vote, intimidate the voters through casting their election. And I pray that we should see out coming out free and fair. And lastly, for the issue of the crisis in the APC, we have seen definitely we are still anticipating to see more of the crisis because Buhari, it seems not to the body language and gesture is not really on the front line to settle because he's supposed to be the leader of the party. Yeah, we have to leave it here.
Let's take one or two more calls before we wrap up the program this evening. Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ground Zero.
So good evening, my name is Usman. I'm calling from Kaduna.
All right, quickly, let's have your take.
All right, quickly, what I want to say is that in the midst of all of these happenings and events, somebody is sitting at the top of it all who belongs to nobody and belongs to everybody, who is supposed to be having a hands-on grip as to whatever it is that is going on within his political party and even within government to make service delivery more effective and efficient for the people.
Yeah.
That is happening in a low number because of the political uproar that has overheated the polity. That is also not happening around the confidence that the people need to have on the fight against corruption.
Thank you so much, Danjuma. Let's quickly take some of the messages we have on our Facebook page. And starting from this one that's coming in from Aldo Peter. He said the Danny report that Magu has choice parties in Dubai hasn't come as a surprise. Magu was petitioned from the presidency, hence its lack of confirmation by the 8th Senate. Obaseki move to PDP is a good one. Adams Oshomole cannot be the new godfather of Edo State Polytechnic. APC disintegrate because it was not a blessing to. Well, you have your say. Chidek Sam Aboko, good day presenters. Obaseki Defects To PDP. That's the beauty of democracy, freedom of liberty and choices. This device is really hanging. I'm trying to see. Sunday Pius saying, good evening, Ahis and everyone. You wrote a very, very, very long contribution touching everything, but we cannot read all of it because we are really out of time. Obaseki To PDP, this device is hanging. Also, we also have something from Kelechi Ikeocha, then it's Mazi AK, then We have something from Barao Daniel and also Eddy Gaius Paul. I would have loved to read them all out, but this device is hanging. We can't really do anything about it. Let's come back to the studio and quickly do our rounding up. I'll start from Abdul Bako in 30 seconds. Folorunso, get ready for your rounding up too. Abdul Bako.
Yes, for me, I think the only arm that make up democracy is the legislative arm, and it should not be found wanting. Rather, it should be proactive in taking due diligence and seeing that it proactively look into issues of audit queries by the Attorney General, Auditor General of the Federation. Such allegations has happened before. They allege that Ibrahim Lamurde was part of relooting the funds that we had that time. So today, it is the integrity government. Let them come out and be proactive, and let's see what happened with these allegations that are coming before Magu.
All right, Eddy Ochigbo.
Thank you very much. My parting shot will be that enough of all these political shenanigans, and if all this scenario wouldn't have been coming if we are talking about genuine service to the people. That's why you see the crisis deepening in the APC. An integrity government, as Abdul has said, should not be about ego, that me I'm competing. It should be how you improve the lot of the people.
Yeah.
And if it's about that, all this is not happening. And that's why we have to say, we have to continue to emphasize that we should make government less attractive. Let us reduce the expenses of government.
All right, let's come to Olu Folorunso, your parting shots.
Yeah, my parting shot is Nigerians should stop being disruptive. We should go back to reading ways. Like that there's a difference between condemnation and commendation. There's a difference between allegation and investigation. As I speak with you, there's a friend of mine that has realized to have on the land in Bagodo. His name, Bagodo.
All right, thank you, Olu Folorunso. And that's about the size of the package of the program today. And as we draw the curtains on the program, I'd like to say this to you. The program Ground Zero is one where we bring up topical issues in the polity. We discuss them. You, the listener, can be a part of it. And of course, the conversation does not start and end right here on radio. Before the program, you can go to the Ground Zero page on Facebook or the Twitter handle and drop your comments and let's talk. And during the program, the course of the program, you can do the same. And even after the program, the conversation continues as we never say goodnight on Ground Zero. Well, thank you so much, Eddy Ochigbo.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Abdul, Bako, Usman.
It's always a pleasure.
Yes. Olu Folorunso, thank you. And to everybody that called in, I appreciate you. All those that sent their messages to our Facebook page, I also thank you so much. Until next Tuesday, when we'll be on again for another package of the program, I would say this like always. Whatever your labors and aspirations in this noisy confusion of life, you should learn how to keep peace with your soul, with all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams. It's a beautiful world that we live in. Be careful. Strive to be happy. I am Giadom. Call me the peacemaker with a passion for crowd satisfaction. May the good mighty Lord bless and keep us all.